Santa Claus is sitting in his chair in front of the fireplace. He is wearing his traditional costume. He looks very miserable and begins to sneeze.
Santa, there you go sneezing again. You ought to be in bed.
Bed? No, Mrs. Claus. Christmas is coming. I'll have to check if everything is ready. Where are the elves?
He turns his head and shouts for his elves.
Jingle, jingle, holly jolly.
2 elves, Jingle and Dingle, enter, and they look at Santa and shake their heads.
Oh, poor Santa. Santa has the sniffles and is very sad to see.
Without Santa, what will Christmas be?
Jingle, Jingle, stop that nonsense.
You ought to make sure everything is done. Go packing dolls, drums, and candy.
Yes, sir.
And send Holly and Jolly up here. I'll have to start soon.
Yes, Mr. Santa.
Jingle and Dingle run out to find Holly and Jolly.
You're not stirring an inch out of this house until you're better. It's snowing harder and it's colder than ever.
What's new about that? It's always cold at the North Pole. Oh, stop fussing. Why did I have to catch this cold anyhow?
It's your own fault. I told you not to go out last night in the sleigh.
But I had to exercise the reindeer.
I could have exercised the reindeer.
You? This is Santa Claus? A woman?
Women are doing lots of things these days. All kinds of jobs. You go out into the world every year, but still, I know more about what's going on out there than you do.
That's because you're always listening to the radio.
Yes, and I think I'll turn out now.
Mrs. Claus switches on the radio. Immediately, they hear the strains of Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells,
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
The radio voice cut them off.
Yes, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love, generosity, and devotion exist. And you know that they abound your life and give your life its highest beauty and joy. Oh, how dreary the world would be if there were no Santa Claus.
Certainly it would be dreary. Of course it would be dreary.
Oh dear, it's so beautiful, but it's making you nervous. I better turn it off.
Mrs. Claus gets up again and switches off the radio.
Don't you see? If I don't get started on my trip soon, people will think there isn't any Santa Claus. Where are those elves?
Just then, Holly and Jolly run in.
Here we are, Santa. We've made the toys for every growing boy.
And now it's time for Christmas, for joy and happiness.
Santa, catching their excitement, tries to get up from the chair.
Oh no, I feel dizzy. My head's stuffed up. And my nose. Achoo!
I think you better just stay in that chair and can't go anywhere.
No, Mr. Santa. What about Christmas?
It's time for Santa Claus to go.
He can't go.
Mrs. Claus heads out of the room.
No Christmas! No Christmas anywhere!
No Christmas for the children.
No field socks.
Suddenly, Mrs. Claus enters the room wearing a long, white, bushy beard, just like Santa's, and dressed in one of his dress suits, a cap, and carrying a big pack over her shoulder.
Wow, it's Mrs. Santa Claus. And she's wearing trousers.
Listen, guys, I'm going to deliver the presents.
I won't have it. I tell you, such a thing never happened at the North Pole before.
Dear, don't get so excited. It's not good for your delicate condition. Tonight, I'm going to do your job.
But,
Don't argue. Lots of women take over their men's job when they have to, and I ought to be on my way.
but have you got the addresses? Will you know?
Of course I will know. Just stop at every house. I won't mix them up, and even if I did, someone might like a surprise.
Yes, a surprise.
what to think. Of course, I'm glad the children are going to have Christmas, but to have Mrs. Santa Claus take my place, she will get more and more publicity.
Oh, but you too, Mr. Santa.
Mrs. Claus is coming from outside.
Of course, people will always love Santa Claus.
There will always be a Christmas. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to all!